Alright, we are back on a bit more. Don't do that, it's a cracked windscreen, it's going to eat it. On the NPR 4x4 conversion build, I guess. We're not converting it yet, but we're doing more stuff. So, firstly, before we get into the Bulbar, as you would see by the title, I've been busy off camera. I've shaded the rear. Front's not shaded yet because I need to get toolboxes and then shade inside. I'll get bored. Could have recorded this on, but I didn't. Made new fascia plate, switches for light bars, USBs, head unit, bloody cup holders because had no cup holders. But today we're doing Bulbar stuff, made a custom Bulbar. To start off, I don't actually have the shading yet. To start off, we're just going to get some of this foam board I've got lying around. Essentially start making some stencils. On the plan of this, you'll have this dog, integrated light bar kind of built into it with like a whole fascia shroud, whatever you call around it. And yeah, let's start making some shenanigans. I've just got this slipped in temporary for now. Basically, my aim is to do 140 off the frame. You're going to follow the body line, tucked neatly into here. It's going to be very similar to the stock one. Essentially just a box. It may have a flare on the bottom, kind of like, not as fancy as this, but kind of like that in a way. No tubes. Kind of just enough to be able to get a winch in there. Yeah, to get the light bar, as I was saying, in there. And just give it a bit of front end something. I want clearance for when this is big and lifted. But it's not like that. So I'm gonna just tape a bunch of these to each other so that I can get the top shape. And then got to figure out the front shape and all that goodness. We'll also have a little angle and a bit of fancy shenanigans, so yeah, something like that. Throw a bit of tape, just roughly holding in my piece where I need to go. Got some extra bits cut. We'll essentially go back and keep following the factory bar line either side, which I'll get cut, and then we'll start figuring out fancy shapes and all that for the top fascia piece. Right, so you can see that now just tucks just under the lip, follows around. So now, this is my govern point of the distance I want. So I think I'm going to carry that distance around to about the grill spot and then cut it in and then just tuck the corner. Don't really know my measurements, so I'm going to just do a bit of maths and figure out my measurements, and then we'll see where I get to. So, after a bit of trial and error, messing around, figuring things out, I got the top shape. That will obviously be square and more like that. But, that's the shape. It follows basically body line around the front. Once it gets to headlight here, cuts in either side, and then follows body line. So I am pretty happy with that shape. That is basically the design I'm kind of going for. So I now got to figure out the vertical bits, which I'm kind of going to measure Nico's winch and see, he's got a pretty big winch in there. No, yeah, that's right. Basically see what I can fit in winch wise into it. That'll be my downturn, and then copy the top shape, return. So I'm gonna do a bit more figuring out, I guess. Alright, so I've just got the Bulbar, but light bar sitting there just to hold it. Obviously needs to pivot up a bit, but essentially I think this is it. So we followed the curve, straight line, straight kind of curve on the front, straight line, curve around. Then I ended up going through the middle 250 to give myself enough for a winch, a little bit extra, and then it curves up and follows that curve up line to 200 to line up with the steps. So still got to make that, well, I don't really got to make that bottom piece on this. I can now just trace that essentially onto steel, a little bit bigger so I can grind it exactly to where I need. And I've got my design for my Bulbar. So now that I got that, I'm going to figure out my kind of casing for the light bar. So again, once I get the steel, I can basically just trace everything, weld it up, cut it, boom. But this is the general Bulbar consensus so far. Again, it will look a bit funny until I do the lift, four-wheel drive, all that shenanigans, but yeah. One thing I do want to mention before I get going and continuing, it won't be such a flat face, obviously. There will be a winch and there will be like vent hole shenanigans. I don't know if this bar has any. No, this bar's just got extra lights. But there will be like vent holes in it to give it a bit more like something instead of just a big solid piece of metal. Right, so it's all roughed in. Won't be exactly how it looks, it'll be modified slightly, especially like the foam board is a bit loose and I can't get it exact, it bends, those things. But essentially that's going to be the integrated light bar. So it'll be built in. Once I do it out of steel, I'm going to decide if I need to do a face piece on the front. But it comes down, bends to follow this. Obviously at the moment it doesn't properly, but it will like that. And yeah, so far it is looking alright. It needs obviously still holes and stuff to make it look better, but that is the basic consensus. That is not what to say, consensus of the bar. So now I gotta get a sheet and start cutting and welding. So I lied. I changed it a bit. I had kind of a bend back lip. You can say approach angle, but it's really not that much. But it kind of just looks a lot better now. Okay, ow. Kept thinking about it was just too solid, so that will be the finished product. Now I can cut it, weld it. Well, once I get a sheet. Right, I've got a sheet, big metal, big steel. Now, kind of got to pull this part, trace the top bit. I don't really need to trace these panels because I can just redraw them because they're easy enough. And yeah. Alright, so going around, I've used as many square edges as I can, except for that one, to mark every single piece around the holding. So now I'm going to get the trusty circular saw, cut them all out, clean them up with grinder, because you know, I don't have a plasma table, I'm not that rich, but we're going to get these all cut. This is going to be the fun bit. We have everything cut. All these are pretty accurate, if you can see the black line, so I kind of just need to trim them slightly more to the black line, clean up the edges. But the one that's all like curvy and stuff, I just need to bring it to my line a little smoother, same as the front. Sorry. And basically bring this dog over to this dog. Now I'll basically just be cross-referencing it to the body, even though we are relatively close. So I'm gonna get, oh fuck, that was kind. I'm gonna get one of these dogs and then start just to make some fancy shapes. So once I get this all nice to this and all of these prepped, we'll get to the exciting part. But that was not fun. I do not like using the grinder with the circular saw with the blade, but that's all we got. All right, so we have got it pretty close to exactly fine body line. I mean, there's a tiny little bit off in some spots, but close enough. Never gonna notice. All right, we are on the next day, and it's welding day, I think. Well, yeah, it is. So inside, this table isn't perfectly level and straight, but straight enough. Now we should be good. So the plan is, I'm just gonna tack the insides because I want. I don't know if you'll be able to fully tell what I'm trying to show. I want to make kind of a groove like that instead of being like that, so that I can kind of fill that join and grind it back better. So I'm going to be putting a scrap piece, not one of these in case, down like that, sitting it on that piece, flush with that inside line, put a couple of tacks, obviously making it square and all that goodness. Do that all the way around. The middle piece is like this. I'm gonna have to probably tack the corner, pull it in, bend it, tack it, pull it in, bend it. These outside curves, I don't fully know how I'm doing it yet, because it's a pretty gnarly bend for a little piece. So yeah, let's get to tacking things together and making a Bulbar. Alright, so still using flux core because I haven't got any more gas still, because broke life. But that's alright. All my welds are going to be really grinded back, so it doesn't really matter. But I've got the first piece there and ready. That is along the back, so that I can keep that little lip. All this is nice and square, so I can go along the back, put some tacks in, do this side the same, bend the middle bit, figure out side bits. So I'm gonna go and start tacking everything together. So I came up with a plan. 1945, we ain't American, not 2x4. Clamp backwards, bugled down. Now I can just push it out to where I need to go. Work my way along, do both sides. I think this is my best option. And then that can just be welded, because now I've got the same thing. So yeah, I'm gonna work my way along and somehow do that. And we've got the curve. So that worked, actually, pretty damn good. There's a small bend, which is all I was looking for. I generally have no idea how I'm going to be doing these. I'm probably going to have to heat it up for torch. But, half a second. Ooh. No, it's not. I got that little gap. There's a little bit here where it's flush. Oh, that has that thing that I need. A little bit there, that's flush, but that's alright. It is looking kind of like wood. Sorry. Oh, flip her over again. She's nice and square as well. She's what I want. There needs to, well that's also the table rock. There needs to be pulled a little bit in, but that's alright. Now, before I do figure out the ones at the angle, it is time to figure out the bendy bend piece. One way. Yeah, no way, sorry. Why was there a big gap? Because, yeah, I got the bend piece. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to bend this shit around, which will probably be a little bit of hate, because that's a big bend. I was scared the shit out of myself. I was like, I think I put it on backwards. No. We get this piece, and with a little bit of magic on that, I'm gonna cut that corner slightly and bend it back as well. That will go in like that. Cool, so yes, off to this bit, which will probably be tack it on there, heat the living shit out of it, bend it around. Coming along. Just thought I'd do a quick test fit, just in case I'm screwing shit up. And everything's where I want it to be. They're in line for where I want it to be. That's in line for where I want it to be. That's good. Obviously it's not sitting how it's going to, but it's definitely doing what we need to do, which is nice. Gap along here is pretty consistent. It definitely will change because this has to go back a bit, but won't. But happy days. So I've tried a fair few things. Well, when I say a fair few things, I mean I've tried quite a bit of heat and then to get it to follow this. I don't think that's going to work. It's kind of too small of a piece to be able to bend easily. So I think I've got to do what I kind of don't want to do is put grinder cuts through it, and then I can bend it, but then I'm just going to have to weld all them grinder cuts, grind it all back, and it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. But if I really want to make the actual curve, yeah, I think that's my only option. So I'm going to make some grinder cuts and start bending. Try heating again, because that's a lot of grinder cuts and a lot of messed up parade. So we're changing the design. We're going to go out on the angle, and then out on the angle, and then just do another basically square bend back to the corner. So it'll be like that. It won't be a full round curve anymore, because I don't have the tools to do this. So I'm gonna modify some pieces, figure out how I'm gonna do this, and then yeah, we'll do this instead. This thing is about 1,000,000 degrees. I've gone ahead and done this side purely because I needed to kind of wing it. But no, fuck it. So basically we've got the 45 up. I don't know how well you're able to see. And then on this edge we've kind of just like done a weird curvy curve. So it kind of follows where I need it to follow. I'll flip it over and quickly show you one sec. It comes down on the 45 off the face, and it follows I'm trying to get out of the bloody light. Follows to get to that side so that it actually follows the body. So I think that's kind of what we're going to do. I just got to mimic it on this side and do this, and then I'll show you the test fit kind of rough in on the truck. All right. This is what it's essentially going to look like. Well, what it will, other than winches, light bar, cradle stuff. But yeah, I don't know 100% how I feel about this, but I kind of wanted it to line up with everything and look good. So I think that's just what I'm going to live with. Doesn't look too bad. But now I'm going to go through and weld the whole thing. So I plundered for quite some time with the funky shapes you can't see anymore, and I think I'm just going to leave it for now. But now, it's time to go around and weld everything. So kind of a fun time. I mean, it is the fun time. Other than flux fall, but she'll be right. Oh, time to weld. Right, the whole thing is welded. I kind of was in the dark here and lost track of where it's going. But we are all welded. Holy, that was kind of a shit show with flux core. But we got it. So now, tomorrow, this is now ready for all this to be grinded back. And once everything's grinded back nice and smooth, looking good, we'll make the light bar piece, essentially like this. Oop. Light bar piece. And we can get to mounting it. But I am done for today. So tomorrow I'm gonna have the fun time of sitting here with a grinder going meh. But yeah. Whew. Fuck flux core is all I can say. It is not fun, this type of shit. I always got to clean up all the splattery bullshit as well. But that's right. We now officially have what it looks like. But so I slept on it, and I really don't like these weird flares that kind of flare up at the bottom. So I'm gonna follow the 150 line all the way across, cut that off, and then just have that flare. This will lead me to the 150 is going to be top of the step, and then it'll have the flare, so we'll come down just below this, so it's going to look better. I slept on it and it looked real funky. It looked like some bloody Star Wars shenanigans, and I wasn't down for it, so we're going to make it look better. So I'm going to cut it, do the flare. Once I do that, I will get back to you and show you that result. So this is the weird specialness we had before. It flared, it did some funky doory things. This is what we just changed it to. Much nicer. That once it goes down will end up flush with the bottom. That is a lot better than that. So now I just got to copy that. I don't know what I was thinking. I got metal onto me now. I don't know what I was thinking. Alright, I have now done both sides, welded them up, made it look much better. So I'm now going to spend good ages struggling to flip it over, grinding back all my welds, making this all look pretty. And once I've done that, then we're going to continue and make the light bar sport and everything. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but hopefully it'll be one part. Grindy time. I will see you once I get this Marvellous, job done. Alright, so after a long time grinding yesterday, I've got it all nice and good. All the edge is nice, face is nice, bottom edge is nice. So, now that this is all looking good and pretty, we got to do wrong stay. Yep, something like that. But we got to do can't make it stay now. So we got to do light bar shroud. So I will obviously go cut everything that I need, and then we will start doing it. My plan is to make it bolted so it's removable, so I can get this in and out, unless if I will be able to shimmy it in, then it's going to get welded in and smoothed out and look all pretty. But first step is obviously go cut everything. Alright, so we got the little side bits and top bits just kind of sitting there. That follows, I don't know if you can pick it on camera, oh yeah, that follows that front line. Same again. So I'm going to tuck these together, then I got to figure out these pieces on the sides, and then just, oh hey Joe, the dog just appeared out of nowhere, and just trace the whole back. I have a feeling that since I do have a fair bit of room in here, I should be able to weld it on, and that should be able to shimmy and come out. So we'll see, because I would ideally want that other than bolts and extra plates and all some random shit. So far, becoming good. Progression is being made. We've got a rear piece all tacked on. This is now kind of bolted as well, so that won't move. This is tacked on, all nice and square. Now I've got to do a little square plate and then that angled piece, and then that can fully be welded. So yeah, let's keep moving. We have everything tucked together. Now, the first moment of truth. Can I pop the nut? Not the bolt, sorry. I can't do it with my finger, it's just too... I lost the nut, I lost the bolt. Hang on, yep, pop that one. Go over to the other side. Pop that one. Now. Oh yes. So I can get it out. Now, can I get it in? That was hard with one hand. Let me put you on the tripod. So, getting out is one thing. But getting in, because now, well, firstly, I gotta fish me bolts out. Can I get it in? Is the question. Put it on. With the rubber footy. It's more the fact, can I get it? Slide it over, hopefully the bolts don't drop. Try find the hole. Come on. Come on. Hang on. I'm not saying long and skinny. Oh, wait. Wait. I think I got it. I think I got it. I've got to get the bolt down. Bolt down. Keep going down. Oh no, it's come off the rubber foot. bolt down. So the answer is, yes, I can get it in and out. So I'm now going to go through, I'm going to take this off. I've literally just tack welded the tiny corner. Take this off, weld this all. I'm going to have to paint the inside of this because I'm not going to be able to. And then weld it on, do all the grinding, and then this will be completed. Other than paint, winch cradle and the hole for the winch and everything, probably lights eventually, but lights, winch cradle and winch be another video. But this is pretty much done. I'm going to get this all done, grinded, whatnot, and then we're going to get on to mounting it. And then that's it for this video, other than probably the finished product when it's painted. So this is all together, cleaned up, nice and pretty. Now we're onto the mounting. So my thought is I'm going to make a bracket that comes off this chassis, tucks around the side, uses bolt hole, bolt hole, bolt hole, same on both sides, and then use some 50 by 50 or whatever, weld it into that little bracket plate coming off straight in the bumper. That, since it's all chassis and everything, should be strong enough. So I'm going to make up some brackets and whatnot, and then start figuring out how to line the bar up and weld it. Yeah. This is essentially the idea. Bolted, bolted. These come off. These will have gussets and into the bar every direction to make it stronger. But something like that, and the bar goes on, which I'm gonna need a hand and all that shit. But yeah. So this is the final mounting strategy, whatever you want to call it. I feel like these are going to be pretty strong. This is only 3mm, but that's alright because it literally butts hard against the chassis and wraps around. But I've had it bolted on because I needed to go driving places and go to the racetrack to do some drifting. But we've jumped on it, we've done some things, and it has not budged. So this is the final mounting. Now I'm going to go through, give it all a bit of a prep for paint it, and finish mounting. And they're all painted and installed. Capture nice. Yeah. So I know it's also dark, but it don't. And well, we got a light bar working. We're doing it. Nice. So that is it for Bulbar and light bar installation, construction, whatever. I'm very tired. So there's going to be another kind of part to this because I got to make the winch, well, the winch cradle, install the winch. I'm going to do fog lights, driving light, things on the side, a little bit more stuff. So there will be more of this. But that is it for the final construction of it. Thank you for watching.